Today, we are gonna be taking measurements for ordering a bridesmaid's dress online. This can be a tricky one, but we're gonna break it down and make it really simple. Let's get started. The supplies for this one is real simple. All you'll need is a tape measure, a pen and paper, and a friend. This is Daria, and Daria needs measurements taken. So, couple of quick tips. We're not gonna wear a padded bra or any shapewear. We are measuring your body the way that it is, natural and beautiful. And we're gonna take 5 quick measurements, which are bust, waist, hips, hollow to floor, and height. So, let's start at the top. I'm gonna have my friend face me, and I'm gonna have her kind of hold her arms sort of out to the side. But for me, I don't like to have them all the way up because it does change that measurement across your chest. So just gently, loosely holding her arms away so that I can measure straight across. Now, getting it straight across the back is really important. So as I'm coming straight across the nipple line, I'm gonna hold that in place, and then I'm gonna peek behind and make sure that that's nice and straight. I'm actually cheating and using a mirror here. That's really helpful too. All right, so we're gonna record that measurement. And one last little note, I do keep one finger behind the tape measure. That's just for a little bit of ease to make sure that I'm not pulling it super tight. Next, down to the waist. I'm gonna feel for where her natural smallest point is. So again, this is not exact. It's definitely different on everyone. And we're just gonna hold the tape measure around. And again, I'm gonna position it so that it is straight across the front and back and feeling to make sure it's at that smallest point. Hopefully she's not ticklish. All right, now we're gonna move down to the hips. The hips is going to be the widest point on the body. So typically for this hip measurement, I'm gonna shoot for halfway between the belly button and the crotch. That's the easiest way to gauge kind of where you're going. But then again, just like with the waist, I'm gonna sort of feel where I think the widest point is. And again, we're gonna come straight across front and back, trying to keep the tape measure as straight as we can. And I'll even line it up a little bit more. Great. All right, record that measurement. All right, let's come back up here to the top, and we're gonna measure what's called the hollow to the ground. So I'm gonna have Daria kick off her shoes because we're gonna do this one barefoot. This is gonna be the measurement that the website that you're ordering from will use to gauge the length of the dress. So I'm gonna feel for the hollow in her chest and then measure down from there. I'm actually gonna have you put your finger there for me. Perfect. And come straight down to the ground. We're gonna try to keep that tape measure straight. Perfect. And I'm gonna record that measurement. Then finally, we're going to do the height. So you can do this a number of ways. I could just ask her and she can just tell me how tall she is. Or I'm gonna have her turn around and we're gonna go from the crown of the head right here. You can do that little, like, put a book there or something to figure out where that is. And straight down to the ground. Now, as you can see, I have a little complication here, which is that my tape measure isn't long enough. Most tape measures run 60 inches. That's a standard tape measure. So if your friend is taller than that, you may have an issue. At this point, you can, again, either guess or use one of those carpenter tape measures. So why don't we grab one of those just to be sure. Let's make sure we know how to use the little brake button on this bad boy. So I'm gonna put the tip down at her heel and then come straight up. And again, this is helpful for me because Daria is taller than me, so I'm gonna actually use the mirror to help. Perfect, keep it steady. All right, and then I'm gonna measure straight across again from the crown. So, good to go. Write all of those measurements down. Those 5 are the key. If the website needs any other measurements, they will say them, but those are gonna be basic across the board for getting an accurate bridesmaid's dress measurement. After that, it's just alterations. Okay, let's recap. Ask a friend. Do not take your own measurements. You definitely need assistance to make sure that they're accurate. 2, no padded bras, no shapewear. You don't need any of that. You just want to be totally natural. And 3, most importantly, they're just numbers. Don't get hung up on them. They don't matter. They're numbers, they're data. Use them, forget them. You are perfect the way that you are. Thank you so much for joining us. Like, subscribe, ask me more questions, and we'll see you soon.